welcome back to the studio. Let's talk about leather stylus and modeling spoons. We'll get an idea of what they're used for. We'll take a look at some of the options that are out there, and then we'll share some recommendations on what to keep in mind when getting one for your shop. So with that, let's dive right in. A stylus is a metal tool with a rounded tip, used primarily for tracing patterns into leather when tooling. When you have a design in mind or something that's sketched, then you can put it on the tracing paper and then transfer that outline to your leather by pressing it into the surface with a stylus. And by doing that, it leaves an impression in that leather material, and then you're able to continue your tooling and move on to the next step in the process. So for example, here we have a piece of leather, and here we have our tooling pattern. He's pretty excited. And so we'll take our stylus, and there's two ends on this one. They come in different sizes, different tip styles. So you'll want to find one that works well for you. This has a good end to it. And what we'll essentially do is we will trace our pattern with the stylus. And usually we take our time to do this. I'm going to do this very quickly just to illustrate what it does. But you definitely want to take your time if you're doing it. And there we go. And now on our leather, we have our design. And when we go to tool it, we could do more with that. Additionally, we could use it on, dry leather, which may not be ideal. We could also use it on cased leather, which has had moisture added to it to a level and a degree that will make tooling easier. And that's when, again, putting that in there. Let's use this end. It may make those impressions come in there easier. And as you can see, in the case leather, there's a much greater indentation. Casing itself is an entire process. We could look at it in another segment, but here's essentially to show you what a stylus can do. And of course, the pressure that you're using will vary, the intensity and the strength of those lines. For example, those are 3 different pressures. And so that's what this tool essentially does. It allows you to put designs into the surface in a light way or a heavy way that can then guide other leather tooling. We have a tool called a modeling spoon, and the modeling spoon has also a metal end to it that is generally curved, and there are different sizes that are available. And additionally, a little bit of variation in those shapes as well, depending on what you are looking to model. They come in a wide variety, and they're essentially used when you're doing figure carving, or you're trying to smooth out areas of leather, during tooling and etching. And so here I'll just show you, very briefly what it can do when you're pressing, and then the techniques to do this and how you do it are going to be a very extensive dive into the tooling world. But right here, it's the highest level that can be. Just the idea that this is another type of implement, the modeling spoon, that can be used to leave impressions in leather, help with your designs, and or smooth out the surface, as you are designing and tooling. Again, this is not a tooling tutorial by a far stretch. It's merely to show you what these tools are and their core intent, for crafting. So there you have it. Those are our stylus and our modeling spoons. If you have any questions, let us know. And if you have any preferences and experience for these, which if you're someone who's into tooling, you likely do, please share. We'd love to hear that. And until next time, keep crafting.